Alright, welcome back to another video. My name is Ethan. It is December 24 today, and we are out here cleaning the heifer barn. So, we're going to get started on that today. We're just going to clean out the scrape alley here and bed them down. My dad generally does this job. We generally do it on Wednesday nights and then Friday nights now, or Tuesday nights. Just because that's what works for us. Generally, there'll be a high school student that'll milk cows with my mom those nights, and when I come home from college, I will feed cows while Dad cleans heifer barn. But since it's the Christmas holidays and since it's Christmas Eve, we are not having help milking cows tonight. We told them not to come. We can do it all ourselves. And since I'm not in school, I have more time to do this kind of stuff. So, we're gonna swing gates. We're gonna lock up this pen here of all our far off dry cows up on the bed pack. Put them up there. And then same with this pen here, close up pen. Our breeding age heifers, and then our younger calves. Then we'll clean the scrape alley. Something kind of neat for you guys there in the tower silos. You can see when it kind of rains or snows. We got a little bit of snow last night and now it's melting. You can see how full the silos are. So that silo, it doesn't always work, but that silo's around half full. You can see where it's dry, there's no feed, and where it's wet, there's feed. I don't quite know why that is, but this silo's around half full of corn silage, and this silo, it's a little harder to see, but it is full up to there as well. Yeah, something interesting. Doesn't always work, but today it's working pretty good. Climb both those silos and change stores, so I know that's about how much feed is in them. So if you're ever driving around and wonder how much feed a silo has in it, and it's kind of a wet day, that's how you can tell. This tractor's been plugged in all morning. I just unplugged it. It should just fire right up. There you go. Gonna let it warm up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and wash my boots, and then we'll start cleaning out the barn. always gives a little bit of grief with this gate. Just the way the barn was set up. Not a big deal if you can work with it. But if you're not careful, you can catch the bucket on that far gate. Come here. Come. Indy, come here. Up. Coming? Nope, I guess not. Oh well. I'm gonna go get this load of manure hauled out. Nice full load. Got the manure hauled out. Tractor's back under the manure elevator for the dairy barn, because we'll have another load of manure to come out of that barn tonight. But during the winter, we use both these loaded tractors for a job. This one always has the bucket on it and scoops manure. And this other one always has the bale spear on it, and it'll feed bales. It's really handy having that. Saves a lot of time switching buckets. Usually we only do or top 2 bales twice a week, so 4 bales a week. Today I might do a little more, just because it's kind of that cold warm weather where it's gonna thaw out, the bed pack's gonna get a little muddier. That's just what the weather does. A little more mucky. So we're using this straw pile here for the dairy barn. It's a little bit nicer. It is this year's straw. Then we have a far straw pile that was tarped and on skids that we're using for the heifer barn. But that was a year older straw, so it's not as nice. But it gets ran through a straw chopper. A little bit rough out here because when it thaws out, we'll make some ruts in here. That's just the way it goes. All the water likes to run down. Here, I see the skid frozen to the bottom of the bale. All of the water will run down from the yard to here, along with some of the rainwater runoff from the barns. But it is what it is. I might as well move skids while I'm out here. Frozen to the ground. This one's not. So yeah, I'll move these skids so we can get another row of bales pulled out. It would be really nice someday to maybe get some of these bales stored upstairs in the barn, but it's kind of hard. There's 250 straw bales every year that we have, or 300 depending on the year. So that would be a lot of big round bales to try and fit up in the barn. But right now we have a lot of small squares up in there as well. the first 2 bales loaded up in the chopper. I'll show you how I load them the next time I load up too. I don't like getting off and on the tractor any more than I have to. So what I do is I put the first bale there on the push gate or on the end gate. Then I pick up another bale, drive around, and I push it ahead. And then I'll load the second bale. Just one less trip up and down to run the other tractor. The straw choppers, it takes all the bad stuff or the outside of the bale that's not as good and it chops it all up, so then it doesn't end up being very much. So it does a good job of mixing it in, and we also go through a lot less straw now, or I don't know, we don't put any less in, but it goes a lot further. Load the bales, so I didn't do the trick of pushing the one forward. And then I had a second person to run the loaded tractor, so I could just stay here and run the bale chopper. The outside of the bale in this pen here because I want the good parts of the bale in the close-up pen here, because this is where the calves will be born in. There's one due on December 26th, so that's pretty quick, and then all the rest in that pen are due before January 10. There you go, we're done bedding down in the heifer barn, and I bed down these two pens here as well. Not that there's any heifers in them right now, but now that there's straw in them, we're one step closer to being able to put heifers in these pens again. There we go, lots of straw. There's a lot of cows and heifers in this far off calving pen here. So even though I put over a bale of straw in here, a good bale and a quarter, this kind of gets quickly turned back into a bed pack and does not stay looking that good for very long. But this pen here, put 3/4 of a bale in and it'll last for quite a while. Yeah, everyone in this pen is due to calve within the next 20 days, except for that number one cow over there, Duchess. She's due January 20, but she's gonna have a Solomon calf, so it's part of the reason why she's in here so soon. But some of these cows are due to have a beef calf. Amelia over here is due to have a beef calf. There's a big heifer over there, she's due to have a beef calf as well. It's actually a really big heifer, well grown. That's why we wanted to make sure we got her pregnant, because she's going to be a good cow, or at least I think she'll be a good cow. So, yeah, that's the hope. But twice a week we bed down the heifer barn, and then as needed we feed bales. See, Dad is over there grabbing a bale of baleage. We're just opening up a new tube right now because we finished the other rows of baleage that we were feeding up beside the barn. So it's good, happy. Yeah, I just cannot believe the size of this heifer. You can see she'll stand still. She's about as tall as I am, and with no boots on, I'm around 5'11". Now I got boots on, so I'm going to be over 6 feet. So she's really tall, well-grown heifer. Yeah, these are all the cows that are going to calve. You can see they're all bagging up. There's another heifer over there that's due to have a beef calf as well. It looks like we have another one in heat today. So, I don't know if she got bred today or not. My mom looks after that. But yesterday, we bred a pile of cows on an off-sync program. Probably the most we've ever bred. We bred 10 cows in one day. So, if they all get pregnant, or even half of them get pregnant, beginning of October, we're going to be very busy with a lot of calves. And a lot of fresh cows, which is good. So, Dad's bringing the bales here. I'm cutting the plastic wrap off and the net wrap off. But the dry hay is nice and close. It's just in the back of the dry shed. And these bales of dry hay are looking really good. They've kept really well since they were in the shed. You couldn't even tell which end sat on the ground. So, it's really good. And then here's a new bale of baleage out of the tube. As always, I find a couple of spots with baleage. You can see there's another one there. not a huge deal, but that some air will get in somewhere, even if the plastic wrap isn't broken. Just fine. Then there'll be a couple of small spots that I find a little bit iffy, but those aren't too big, so they're not an issue. But I just like dry hay a lot better for that reason. If I had the storage for it, I'd prefer to make way more dry hay. Even if I had to buy an applicator for a round baler, it'd just be well worth the money, because then we don't have to pay $11 a bale to wrap. I don't have to wait for someone to show up to wrap, and I don't have to handle the bales another time to load them into the wrapper, and better feed quality. But if they sit outside, then I don't really think you'd get better feed quality. So that's why we still wrap them. There's actually a tube of dry hay wrapped over there. The hay was a little wet. It was around 20%. So it was a little too wet to be dry. But it is what it is. Alright, this afternoon we're working on a light out here by the silo room. It's broken. This one's broken and hangs down. And this side kind of sorts out. So, with a brand new one that I'm going to put on. There you go, it works again. One of the bulbs is burnt out. I switched them around and it's the bulbs. Both outlets have power, so there we go. Another job done. Just went ahead and got this back door here back on its tracks. The one side wasn't on the tracks too good anymore. So I fixed that. Now the door can shut. Should just help to keep the heifers a little bit warmer. Some of these colder nights that we've been having. But yeah. Some of these doors are in need of a little bit of love, but some of them we don't shut too much. We don't shut either of those two doors too much. That one gets used the most. So maybe we'll have to buy some more new hardware for it. And then on the one side, the cable with the spring tensions got too much slack, so we'll have to tighten that up. But other than that, they're not in too bad a shape. Alright, so we're doing night chores now. All of the heifers are eating their pellets, along with the close-up dry cows. Since we're feeding bales in here again, we have to feed pellets on top. This summer, when we made TMR, we'd mix it in the TMR. So that's kind of a pro to that, is we didn't have to feed grain in here twice a day. But the pro with bales is we only have to feed bales every 3 days or so, 2 to 3 days. But yeah, we still have to come here and feed grain. Pros and cons to everything. So we'll just come back here again later tonight when we do barn check and check to see this heifer right here is the one that's due to calve. She's due December 26th, but she could calve 2 days early. She's due a sec semen. Heifer calves usually come earlier, but time will tell. But that is all I have for this video. That is our heifer barn. That is what we're doing in this barn now. I know I talk about the dairy barn a lot, and I show you guys a lot of stuff I do in the shop, but I thought I'd talk about this barn again today. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a Merry Christmas. Sure, it'll be after Christmas by the time I've edited this and uploaded it. But, thank you very much for watching. Figured I'd show you while I'm here. Can't see it, it's facing the wrong way, but never did end up making it into a YouTube video yet, and I don't know if it will. But on top of the silo there, we got Christmas lights. It's a cross. If you're driving down the 4th concession there, you'd be able to see it. So I'll put a photo on the screen of what it looks like. The phone camera doesn't do it justice. I have a pretty good phone, but it's just hard to see at night. So, yeah.